Hello, welcome to Topper Machine. I'm Josh Topper, and today's job we are going to get the tracks off of the dragline crane. Connor is here. He's going to start taking them all apart, but I'm going to go ahead and get the first pins and we'll pull the tracks out, get them in the shop so he can take them apart, and then he can start making new pins, and I'll look at a plan as to whether or not we need to rebuild the pads for where the drive lugs are. So here you can see, here's one of our pins that's badly wore. And they're all like this. They're pretty rough shape. There's some damage to the pads. I'll probably wind up welding those up. There's some work to do here. We're just going to fix this all up. Yeah, there's some more cracking. So we'll weld all that up. And then another thing that's got to be done is these bottom rollers are all, the bushings are all gone. So them got to get rebuilt too. And I think we'll have to do some welding in here on the lugs. So a lot of work to do to this thing, but we're going to fix it up and make it like new. So all these pins are held in with just a roll pin, and I found they don't move, so it's just easiest to take a chisel and bust off the pin. So I need to be able to take the tension out of the track. I'm going to go ahead and use the come along just to pull it up a little bit. When we go to put it back together, I'll make a whole new fixture, a tool just for this purpose that will pull the track together. Got it? There you go. Yeah, see if that'll move. So this isn't going very well. She's pinched. I brought the loader in to lift the track, try to take some tension off down there. We'll see if I can get it to move at all. All right, this isn't going well because they're so wore that I'm gonna go ahead and torch them, which I wasn't planning on doing, but I think it's going to be my only option to get them out. I'll snip at each one and get this one to pop off, and then once we get it off, then it'll go easy. All right, I got the loader here all rigged up with a pin through and a strap. We're just going to go ahead and pull this track right off of the crane. right, got them inside. I see a few that need a lot of work, like this one right here. But now that it's inside, this will come apart pretty easy. I'll just break those roll pins right off. And there's our problem. But now each pad is free. So Connor's going to go ahead and take these the rest of the way apart, put them in bins, and then his job is going to be to make new pins. Well, let's go see how Connor's doing. Well, he's made some progress. He started over here. They are coming apart. And yeah, there's a box full of track pads and some beautifully destroyed pins. Just totally wore. So, looks like he'll be at this a while. Boy, them come out hard, don't they? Just look at how wore those things are. Just incredible. Surprised more of them didn't break. So here are all the pins cut. I had Connor figure out the material we needed and what grade, what lengths, how much we got out of each bar. And I just ordered the material and wrote the check, and he's just chamfering them now. Yeah, that's a nice healthy chamfer on there. Next, I'll take it over to the Bridgeport and start drilling them all for the roll pin to lock them in. That's all there is to these things. All right, Connor's drilling them for the roll pin. So dab of anchor lube and making good progress. All right, so this whole project is all Connor. He is doing all the repairs to the track pads now. He just finished up all the pins. The track pads are another big job. I'm gonna walk him through how to do everything. He's already been grinding on them and getting them ready to do the welds where any repairs need to be done. So let's head back in the back and I'll show you what the pads look like and what he's doing to them and where he's at right now. Go on. So here's one of the worst ones. That'll have to get rebuilt. You know, weld that back up and do that. But he's also been... We've got some cracks, and he ground them out, and if you look, you can see how it's bent out a little bit here at these cracks. We're going to heat that up and bend that back in, and he's working his way through them. So now he's just taking the die grinder and gouging out where where the crack is and just getting them all ready to weld up. So he's making good progress. He's halfway done with the first box as far as the grinding. And once he's done with all the grinding, then we'll set up and get the preheat table going. And he can preheat, weld, and then post-heat. And then we should be all done fixing tracks. Okay, he's on the last sets of pads here. He's just heating that area up, getting it nice and red so that he can bend it without breaking it. Much straighter. And this one's already done. So next he's got to weld everything. Okay, so Connor's got them all ground up, and we got the first couple on the preheat table. What we're trying to do is get them up to about 300 degrees total, 350, somewhere in there, and then we'll weld them up. And this here will be the first one I do. This is really bad, and I'll show Connor how to do this. I'm actually going to build this all up with weld. And it'll be a slow process. Be heating, throw it back on the table, let it normalize, then weld again, normalize. It's going to be a bit of a process. This one isn't so bad. This one is just welding up the cracks in here, if you can see those. But we're a ways out from our temperature we need, so we'll let these keep heating, and then we'll get them over and start welding. I didn't like the way that was heating up, so I set them up in a teepee form. We'll see how that works. Well, looks like we're right where I want to be, about 350. So we'll go ahead and throw this one up on the table and start welding it. Alright, so it's at temp. It's all looking good. Take the wire wheel, clean up this a little bit, and then I'm going to start building this up first. We'll put a few passes, and then we'll flip it, we'll weld this, and so that can cool a little bit. We'll clean that up again and just keep building. All right, we're still a little bit hot. I'm gonna let that cool for just a little bit yet. Probably another couple minutes, and then I'll do the next pass. Okay, so this one, being as how bad it is going to take a little bit more work. I need to build it up, but I need to also maintain my, not too much heat, but maintain heat, and take my time at it so it doesn't crack. You know, these things are pretty war. I'm not going to go through all the work of doing it completely 100% restoring them, just because it's not going to see a lot of use over the next, you know, whatever, how many years I have with it. So just enough to make it work. Obviously this has been fixed at one point before, and it worked quite a while that way, but we're going to fix so many other things that I don't think it's going to wear as bad. All right, I'm gonna move this back over to the burn table, grab the next one, and we're just gonna let this normalize a bit. We've got some more buildup to do on this spot, but I wanna just kinda keep the even heat and let it dissipate so we don't get any cracking. All right, the next one is up to temp. I got it up here. We're gonna just weld these spots shut, and this one, Connor is gonna weld. All right, let's see how he did. Wow, that came out really nice. That looks really good. All right, let's get the other one. Very nice. So what he's doing is when he starts, he's building up a little bit on the end here and then pushing it. And we're running 045 wire and C10 gas. So we're actually spray transfer. So we're getting a nice, almost flat weld in there. So we pulled it off, thought we were done, and I can see the crack is pretty good size back here yet. So I'm gonna have Connor go ahead and weld those shut, and then we'll throw it back on the heat table for half hour or so, and then it'll be done. I think you got her. Yeah, that looks good. All right, I got mine back over here. She normalized out temperature pretty good. So I'll go ahead and clean this up and then put some more weld on, and then we'll probably throw it back over for a little longer. All right, well, that's the first layer on there, and we're actually almost built up to where I want to be. I'll have to take it just a little bit more, especially in the middle there, and then grind it down once we're all done. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. All right, that built up pretty nice. I'm gonna go ahead and throw her back on the burn table for a while to dissipate the heat. And then this one will need a little grinding, but we'll let Connor get back to welding the rest of them. All right, here's the one Connor did, and I think we're probably good. We'll let that cool. All right, let's go see how Connor's doing on his project here. So what he's doing is basically taking them, and when they get up to temp, he swaps it out. He puts the hot one over to weld it, and he puts a cold one in its place, and then when that one's done, he'll bring it over, stand it up here on the floor to cool. So it's up at an angle like this, or on the pad, and they hold their heat a very long time, so they're cooling nice and slow. And then when he gets that one done, he's gonna grab the hot one here, take it over, grab a cold one, throw it on the burn table. And they're coming out pretty good. But that one that I welded earlier, the pad buildup, that came out nice. There's no crack there, lots of buildup. That'll just take a little bit of polishing with the grinder and we'll be good to go. So for something that needed this much work, it's really not going to be that bad. definitely going to stay on it and get moving. There's a bunch more work to do on this whole crane. It needs all new shafts, possibly new shafts, but all the track rollers need to be rebuilt. I've got one drive idler, one of the big idlers in the back needs to be repaired. And we'll do these in separate videos. The track rollers, that's going to be all Connor, another one of his projects. And I hope you enjoyed the video. We're just going to end here because there's a lot more to do to this. So with that, until next time, get out in your shop and get it done right the first time.